Hello there, it's David Duffett here at Simwood, and I'm back with another Simwood Portal video, and this time we're going to look at creating an outbound SIP trunk. So let's log in. Got my email address and password there, and when I click login, as usual, I end up on the home screen, and to the left we've got all of these navigational options. I'm going to go for the fourth one down, trunk management. And when we get to the trunk management screen, you'll see I've got a couple of existing SIP trunks that are set up here. And so I could go in and edit the different details around those. But this time I'm going to create a new one. And you'll see there's three different types of trunk that we could create. An IDA, or indirect access trunk. An auth trunk, that means a trunk that requires a username and password for validation of calls. And then the last kind here, which is actually the one we're going to create today, called a new IP trunk. In other words, this is a SIP trunk that accepts traffic and sends traffic based purely on an IP address or addresses. So let's click new IP trunk, and the first thing we have to do is give it a title. So I'm going to call it SIP IP trunk to give it a generic name there, and when I click create, it says you have created that successfully, which is great. And so now there you can see it in the list, and there's various things that I could configure around it. The first thing I'm going to do is actually give it a number range that it can work with, and I could give it lots of different ranges, but for now I'm just going to give it the 44 range so we can allow UK calls. And you can see now that I've got allowed prefixes of 44. If I don't do that, if I don't effectively create a whitelist, then we won't be able to send any calls. So we have to create a list of the number ranges that this trunk can convey. So let's now go back in and check out the authorised IP section, and you'll see right now, I just created it, there are no authorised IP addresses. So I'm going to put one in here that I prepared earlier. There it is, and I click submit, and it's loaded, and so now that is there. Now that, believe it or not, is everything we need to do in order to get calls outbound from our PBX or our other SIP service, whatever it is we want to do, out on this Simwood Carrier trunk. So all you'd do is use the IP address that you've specified to send calls from that to out.simwood.com, and you'd be up and working, at least for any calls that began with a 44 prefix. And you could add more ranges as you wish to. Now, as you can see, it's a simple process. We're going to have another video that talks about getting the trunk calls inbound. We'll also do an outbound trunk that relies on auth credentials, so effectively a username and password, but that will be in another video. For now, thanks very much for watching, and remember there are lots of other videos around here on different aspects of a Simwood portal. Great seeing you. Bye bye for now. All we're going to do is log out, and that's that.